I have Initio's Side Effect. This fragrance, I got this sample with a Christmas present. It was a free sample they threw in. So I've had it since December and I've sprayed it a couple of times, but it never left a big impression. I've smelled it at the mall over the years because it's always been hyped up. So many people like it, and looking back at it, a lot of the YouTubers that liked it a lot, I would imagine they got sent this by Initio. Um, I don't know. It seems like Initio sends fragrances to people, certain ones. Same thing with Roja Dove, and they hype them up. Like with Roja Dove, it seems like Oceanic, the ocean fresh one or whatever. Every YouTuber received a bottle of that, and seems like with Initio, Side Effect might be that one, and with Perfume de Marley, if I had to guess, Leighton. It seemed like everybody was talking about Leighton. Although Leighton, in my opinion, it's decent. It is a good fragrance, but if I'm comparing Leighton to this one, I think Leighton is better than Side Effect, in my opinion. In fact, I think Perfume de Marley overall is probably better than Initio. I mean, I've only smelled Initio at I think Saks Fifth Avenue, just passing by, and I spray them, and I'm like, that's okay. I'm always excited to try some of the Initios, but they never intrigue me. Like not a single one of them. But I mean, maybe I need to smell more of them. I also don't like that they only sell 90 mls. I prefer 50 or 75, and they're expensive. Surprised, I looked up the price and they're $400, which is crazy. It's upsetting that all these brands are creeping up to $400 basically. Because I remember initial last, it seems like last time I checked, they were 300, and that was ridiculous enough. So they must have went up quick, or maybe time's going by fast, and I haven't checked in a couple years. But even so, that's $50 a year. I don't see people continuing paying these prices. I mean, I don't know what these department stores are going to do. What are they going to do when these brands go up to 1,000 a bottle and nobody's buying them? But you can get them on discounters for 100, 200. It seems like the department stores would be upset about that. But I don't know how that works. It would be interesting to hear someone speak about why department stores don't get upset about brands, selling to discounters. There's some videos that touch on some of that gray market stuff, but I haven't heard any about that so far. But yeah, so Initio, Side Effect. The top, or there's no top, mid, and base. On Fragrantica, they just list rum, tobacco, cinnamon, saffron, sandalwood, and hedione. I had looked up the notes because I couldn't really pinpoint any notes. Before I looked up the notes, I was trying to think about how I would describe this, and I got this like fruity sweetness without any fruit standing out, with like some dark, like, I don't know how to describe it, like some dark niche like amberness, but not an amber fragrance, just almost like one of them it almost smells like a clone or something. I don't know. Like it's not bad, don't get me wrong. I feel like if you're just getting into niche fragrances, this one might be appealing. But I don't know. It smells like how would I describe it? It's hard to describe. Maybe like a Dolce and Gabbana fragrance or something, but if they did a dark sweet fragrance, but not even. I mean, the one EDP by Dolce and Gabbana is actually really good. This would be like a cheap version of that. Honestly, it smells like not as good as a lot of designers. Scanning through the comments on Fragrantica, I was trying to find what people are saying about it that clicks in my brain when I'm smelling it. Now, people say stuff all the time. Like somebody said Play-Doh on Organica. I don't get Play-Doh from this. So I'm not just looking at what people read and writing it down. But I saw a lot of people saying fruit punch, like some kind of gummy sweetness that's hard to explain. So that aligns with what I was thinking before I looked up any notes or read anything like this fruit sweetness without a fruit, without one fruit popping out. So somebody said fruit punch. I can get that because I feel like it smells like a fruity sweetness. Someone said gummy sweetness that's hard to explain. Same thing, I can get that. I mean, I don't get like a straight gummy bear or straight sugary sweetness, but yeah, some kind of fruitiness. Somebody said sweet rose, and I'm like, yeah, this does kind of have like a musky rose effect. And just looking at the notes, that sweetness where it's coming from, I think it's the saffron mixing with the sandalwood and the hedione. Saffron often gives this like sweet effect that you get in oud fragrances. I mean, in my opinion, a lot of them have like a little bit of ethyl maltol too, I believe. But yeah, you get that saffron. That's the smell you get in saffron rose oud fragrances, but cut out the oud and the rose and that effect. I get some of that. The sandalwood, yeah, you get kind of that like slight woody sweetness, I think too. Sandalwood gives this like smoothness almost. I mean, this synthetic sandalwood, whatever it is, I believe. And then the hedione, yeah, I'm kind of getting that. Now, look, let's talk about price a little bit more. People say Initio is the more. I've heard it being referred to as the more expensive Perfume de Marly brand. Like it's the same owner, same company, I believe. So I compared price per ml to see if is it more expensive because you would think, the better brand would be more expensive. So I compared it to Leighton Exclusive, the price, because that's Perfume de Marly's, good, more expensive men's fragrance, and I believe this is marketed towards men. So this one, 90 mLs, 400, that's $4.44 per mil. That's ridiculous, You can get samples for cheaper than that of some of the best fragrances. Leighton Exclusive, the 75 ml is $3.52. So yeah, that's cheaper, but usually you get a better deal per ml. So let's go with the 75. No wait, the 75 ml is 473 for Leighton Exclusive. 75 ml 473 and the 125 ml is 352 and then Initio is 444. So the best deal is Leighton Exclusive, the 125 ml. And the worst deal is Leighton Exclusive 75 ml. So yeah, I guess the Perfume de Marly 75 mLs are the better deal, but I mean the 75 ml Leighton Exclusive costs more than this, So I don't see there's not a significant price difference to say like this is more expensive than Perfume de Marly. I think Perfume de Marly is more popular than Initio, and you'll just see the price going up and up and up. Yeah, I don't hate on Perfume de Marly like a lot of people do, but I can see why people don't like them. The clone, they do smell similar to other fragrances. Like their new one, Persis, smells like Terre de Hermes Oud Greve. I mean, they are different. I've compared them on skin, and they dry down different, but you get the I think they're going for a similar effect. Same thing with Percival. It smells like Mont Blanc Legend. But not all of them. I don't think Leighton or Leighton Exclusive smells like anything, or Pegasus or Pegasus Exclusive. Initio though is just generic. It's all their fragrances are generic, and also they smell like clones. I mean, they have other Initio has other fragrances that smell similar, but yeah, I would pass on this one. There's better out there. I mean, it's likable. I think it's mass appealing. There's nothing challenging in this. So if you're new into niche fragrances, you might like this, but I would take my advice and I wouldn't spend the money on it, because in a few years I don't think you're gonna like this when you smell other fragrances that are similar but better. The closest thing this smells like to me is smells similar to Bulgaria's exclusive fragrances, just maybe less challenging overall. It kind of has that effect, but yeah, whatever the notes are listed, you get all that kind of mashed up with synthetic cloud. I mean, it's not as big of a synthetic cloud as designers, but I mean, it's there. Yeah, I think there's better. I would stay away from this, but yeah, it's an interesting one to try out just to see why so many people like it. So for Granica, this has a 4.4, a lot of reviews. That's a high score. And in my opinion, I don't know, maybe people genuinely like it that much, but it kind of just shows like the power of influencers. I feel like people hype this up and people smell it and they're like, yeah, that does smell good. And they're just agreeing with what they hear other people say. So yeah, overall the price is ridiculous. This ain't worth it. There's better for the money. But let me know what you think if you like this. I mean, I'm not hating on this completely. Like, it doesn't smell horrible. I just think it's kind of like average, And maybe it's a little better than average if you're comparing it to all the designer junk that smells the same. But in the niche world, it's kind of like, it's okay. It ain't worth the money, and it's not as good as what people hype it up to be, basically.